OK, I'm done with this.
No.
Sorry, no. Sorry.
So, do you know what? That's pathetic.
You can trash me, mate, but not my own.
No.
See you later.
Welcome to WatchMojo UK, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 jaw-dropping Good Morning Britain moments.
Why are you reluctant to say either way?
Because I don't want to speak on something that I haven't finished yet.
It was about trade,
1974?
and not to worry our little heads. 50 years of lies. 50 years of lies.
50 years.
And we've now redressed the balance.
That's still my father. It's a very hard situation to digest and even process because my heart is torn into two separate places.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we'll be looking at the moments in this daytime TV show that shocked the nation. Which of these left you floored? Let us know in the comments below. Number 10, Piers clashes with Angelina.
Your BMI is 64.6.
Do you think that Angelina doesn't know all of this?
No, the reason I'm saying it is so that viewers can understand the debate properly.
In 2019, plus-size model Angelina DUPLISEA came on the show to defend her appearance on the Miley Cyrus video. There was at the time critics who were very vocal about their belief that her inclusion in the video glorified obesity. Piers was, of course, one of those critics.
You would take yourself off the air because you're not exactly slim yourself.
Well,
right?
OK, I'm 220 pounds and I'm 6'1", right? You're 5'4" and you're 380 pounds.
In this interview, people couldn't believe that Piers actually said what he did directly to Angelina, and the clip soon went viral.
But I'm not obese. It's just a statistical medical fact.
You're fat, though.
I'm not medical. I'm not even fat.
Yeah, but you being
no, I'm
less
not. This is the point, though. My point is...
OK.
Number 9, quitting on live television. 2016 saw one of the biggest strikes in the medical world after junior doctors were incensed by a new contract that was introduced.
If I'd had an operation cancelled twice as a result of these strikes, I'd be very annoyed. Or worse.
So when Ben White, one of those junior doctors who was affected by the new contract, appeared on GMB, he took the opportunity to resign live on television.
And you've made decisions about your own life
yeah,
within
so
the NHS.
I've taken the decision, well, I will do so today, that I'm resigning as a training doctor.
He said he was using the opportunity to focus his efforts on his legal campaign against these new challenges. Number 8, R. Kelly's family speaks.
I don't think that people have a clear understanding that we're dealing with two people here. There's R. Kelly, the persona, and then there's Robert, the person.
R. Kelly was the center of a massive controversy in 2019 after the documentary Surviving R. Kelly was released to the public. That's why people were glued to their screens when they heard that the ex-wife and child of the alleged abuser would be appearing on GMB that day.
I'm a firm believer that just because you grew up in a household where abuse was prevalent and you were abused, it does not give you a free pass to be an abuser.
In the interview, DREA Kelly gave a very eloquent account of her experiences with her ex-husband. But most harrowing of all was Kelly's own daughter, Joanne, speaking on her history with her father and how the events were affecting her at the time.
That's still my father. It's a very hard situation to digest and even process because my heart is torn into two separate places.
Number 7, Garraway's jab. Now this one left people floored for an entirely different reason. It's not every day you see a TV personality take a random shot at one of their co-presenters. After discussing the Oscars award ceremony, they threw over to weather girl Laura Tobin. But in doing so, Kate Garraway threw this insult in her direction.
Well, I think you're making a brave stab at the worst dress with that dress. Oh, it's
oh my goodness, you've turned.
Behind the dress. Wow.
People were appalled by Garraway's brutal swipe at the young weather reporter, and she faced a short backlash. Number 6, interview cancellation. It's no secret that Piers had brought heavy criticism to GMB, but his first major stir was after the Women's March in 2016.
Was going on Good Morning Britain, didn't realise Piers Morgan was host, won't go on with him after his comments about the Women's March.
Ewan McGregor, who was supposed to be interviewed in the segment that followed, actually walked out before they went on air.
Maybe actors should just talk about the films. and not get so worked up about politics.
He was apparently so disgusted by Piers' views that he had no intention of appearing on the show.
Come and debate it, don't turn up. Anyway, big shame. So I'm very sorry. Because of my views on the Women's March, not meeting Ewan McGregor's, he will not be with us this morning.
Number 5, Christopher Eccleston tears up. Christopher Eccleston's work to stand up against bullying has endeared the nation, but it wasn't until we saw him appear on GMB that we learned the full extent of it.
Playtime became terror time for me. She would trap me against the wall. She would make me do sums.
In this emotional interview, Eccleston opened up about his history, highlighting the vicious cycle of bullying.
One of the big factors, I think, for all people who are bullied is shame, and I could never tell my parents.
He even brought up his own shame and how he had picked on a child too.
It was a very sensitive boy in my class, and at break time, I used to make him give me some of his crisps.
Fans were left shocked as the former Doctor Who star was close to tears in this heartbreaking exchange. Number 4, Alastair versus Nigel. The GMB producers must have known exactly what they were doing when these two were put on the same couch back in 2017.
We're taking back control.
Oh my God, we're losing control.
Why are you so miserable? We're getting back our independence.
Amidst the Brexit row, these two came on the show to let their feelings be heard. Unsurprisingly, they proved to be combustible elements, and a huge row ensued.
50 years of lies. 50 years of lies.
50 years
and we've now redressed the balance. And we're now getting our independence back.
Honestly, you couldn't hear a word either was saying as the two shouted over each other. Most shocking of all is that Piers wasn't able to calm the two down.
And what we've left is falling to pieces.
When people realise their jobs,
the Euro's a catastrophe, the migrant crisis is ripping it to bits. We're on a lifeboat. We've left the Titanic, we're in a lifeboat.
Number 3, Colin Tebbutt speaks.
Then she looked round at me and said, I think you better get up and sit on the end of the bed and take this phone call.
One of the most emotional interviews to ever take place on GMB has to be with the man who served as Princess Diana's driver. Here he recalls the sorrowful day he heard the news of Diana's accident, and for many, it reignited their emotions from that day.
And he was explaining that she was injured, when in fact the private secretary, Michael, was telling the 6 of us in the office that sadly she died.
While plenty of those closest to Diana have spoken up, this one cuts particularly deep as he recounted the day he had to bring her body back to the UK.
Perhaps my professionalism was lacking a little bit because as I turned round, the eyelashes and the hair of the princess were moving, caused by the fan. And that just struck me,
As a result, the clip has seen over 7 million views on GMB's YouTube channel. Number 2, Lindsay Lohan.
But you read the Quran regularly, right?
Yeah, I do.
Lindsay Lohan has been the subject to much controversy throughout the years, but in 2017, talks of her converting to Islam dominated the press. What followed was a very enlightening interview on Lindsay's many insights on religion and spiritualism.
Why are you reluctant to say either way?
Because I don't want to speak on something that I haven't finished yet. I don't think that's right.
Many were surprised to hear that Lohan had such a complex thought on the matter, and, as a result, this clip stands as GMB's most popular on YouTube.
Grace Kelly and Audrey Hepburn and, you know, these old Hollywood actresses, they used to cover up the same way.
Number 1, Piers Walks Out.
Is that when you are a lighter shade of black, people gain confidence and feel that they can say things to you that they wouldn't say to a black person.
The Meghan and Harry interview left the nation divided, but none took it more personally than Piers Morgan. While many agreed with Piers' stance in the arguments, his colleagues at GMB did not, leading to a series of fiery debates on the episodes that followed, especially with weather reporter Alex Beresford.
The first part of that allegation, we don't know any of the details or who said it or how they said it, and the second one is completely untrue. Meghan just got it wrong.
After Beresford spoke up, Piers was having none of it and walked out of the studio.
OK, I'm done with this.
No.
Sorry, no. Sorry.
Do you know what? That's pathetic.
You can track me, mate, but not my own.
No.
See you later.
I'm being...
Sorry, can't do this.
This is absolutely diabolical behaviour.
That same evening, Piers released a statement that he had quit Good Morning Britain for good. But where do you stand on this controversy? Let us know in the comments below. Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo UK and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.